is Julia. I was born Vietnamese but grew up far from this place. Today, I'm riding the Ha Giang Loop, not as a tourist, but as someone returning to her roots. Maybe, for the first time, really coming home.
Hello guys! So, prior to getting there, I was in Sapa, and you can either take a sleeper bus or private transport if you want to do that from either Hanoi or Sapa. And as I was already in Sapa, the company that I chose to do it with said that they could pick me up from there. About 8 hours, I believe, with one stop, maybe a little bit less than that. I booked myself in for a hotel stay. Now, in the tour package, they include for you to stay a night at their hostel the day before the tour starts. But again, I wanted to just get a good night's sleep the night before, so I booked myself in just for a hotel nearby within the area, and they come and pick you up the morning of. Just checked into my hotel. I'm actually in shock that I've paid, how much did I pay for this? £24? Look how cute this is. The bed looks very comfortable. I literally want to jump on it right now, but I won't because I need to have a shower. Nothing crazy fancy about it, but then the view, I actually love the detailing on the window there. And then the view is just out to... What is going on over there? Let's zoom in. All these beautiful ladies in the traditional Vietnamese white dresses, which we call áo dài. So I did a bit of research into companies that focus more on a slightly older age group, and I found a company called BB, Ha Giang Loop Tour Company. I'll link them down below. And on their website, it says that maximum in a group is 8 people, and I thought that was perfect. And it had a little bit of a description, or I guess brief, on why people chose them. 1, that it's more of an intimate experience, and 2, it's a slightly more mature age group, and 3, the other thing that was a big concern for me is I wanted a company that was going to prioritize safety. I've heard a lot of horror stories about easy riders racing each other on the roads and accidents happen, and I was like, no, I want to come out of this experience alive and with body parts. So I had read on the reviews of BB, and everyone who had done it with BB had amazing reviews for them. So I booked it with them, and I have to say, from start to finish, the communication with BB was, I can't fault them. They were super responsive on WhatsApp. They were very transparent in their pricing. So they do different packages. So you could either do a standard package, a premium package, or a private tour package. And I chose the premium, which means that each of the homestays, you get your own private room. I'm at that age now, not that there's anything wrong with it, but I'm at that stage now in my life where I just want my own private space. So I was happy to pay a little bit extra for it, roughly around the $240 USD mark, to include my transport from Sapa into Ha Giang, and then Ha Giang back to Hanoi. But again, I'll link their website down below so you can all inquire yourself. That evening, I just chilled, went out for dinner, and then came back and got a good night's rest. Semi-indoors, outdoors, they have like a little bridge over pond there. The next morning, my easy rider came to come and pick me up, and he strapped on my bag. Now, whilst I'm on that subject, the practical side of things in terms of what to bring, you're only allowed a backpack. Don't think you're bringing a whole suitcase or, loads of luggage. The what I had done was, when I was in Sapa, I went around town to like pick up any bits and pieces I needed. So what I'll do is include within the description box what my recommendations are for you to pack. But a small backpack or a small tiny hold all is fine, because obviously they strap that securely onto the back of the bike. Okay, morning of the first day of the Ha Giang Loop. I'm just waiting to get picked up from my hotel. My driver should be here any minute, and I'm super excited. Got my coffee, got the menu, and I'm so excited. So he came and picked me up, and then we drove over to the hostel where I met the rest of my group. And I have to say, I don't know how they did it, but there were 6 of us and we all got on like a house on fire. It was incredible. We were all on the same wavelength, similar age range, and it made the trip even better because we hung out together like we've been friends for ages, and it was nice to have people to share the experience with. And then we set off. I believe we set off at around 9 a.m. First day, we probably made a stop every half an hour, and every stop had an incredible viewpoint. Now, what's interesting to note was I was like, okay, I'm really excited for this, but I wonder whether the scenery is just going to be samey, and whether by the end of 3 days I would be bored of it. But no, literally every 10-15 minutes it was a whole nother scenery. At one point you're up super high up in the mountains, another point you're riding on ground level through like the villages, and there are so many beautiful sights and a change up of scenery that the whole time I wasn't bored. Then at around 1, you stop off for lunch at a family-run restaurant. It's super authentic local food. It is family style, so you get a small bowl of rice. There's lots of different plates on the table that you share with everyone, and it's great because it's a bonding time for you and the group. And then you chill for a bit, and then you head off onto the next stop.
You have more food?
One of the guys actually was Hmong, and he was the one who was the communicator between us and a gentleman who was living in the Hmong village, whose house we were able to go into. And he sort of said, one of the guys in our group, that he grew up, you know, not well off, and lived in a village like this and lived in a house like this, and through the strength of his mom she was able to send him to school where he you know, had a good education, and is now earning good money for his family and his kids and his wife, and I love that. And so I want them to continue doing well and earning good money. And good guy.
Đây chị lên trên này. Hãy treo lên tảng đá ấy.
I don't think so.
Yeah, go there.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah, you can.
No way.
À vừa hả?
Rất ổn.
Em đứng đây. You stay here. You stay here.
Take many minutes.
Each day you're back at the where you're staying, so the homestay, by 5 p.m. because obviously they don't want to be driving in the dark, so you're back by around 4:35, that sort of time. Then you have about 2 hours to chill, relax, hang out with people, whatever you want to do, shower. And then dinner typically is around 7 to 7:30. You all conjugate downstairs, and then again, similar sort of food, family style, rice, and it was amazing food. Like obviously I'm used to that kind of food because it's the type of food that my mum cooks at home, but everyone else on the group was like, wow, this is really, really good food.
Okay, in Vietnam, bit long for say just 3 times. Yeah, for the first time, 1, 2, 3 rồi.
1, 2, 3 rổ.
The second time, 2, 3 rồi.
2, 3
The
rổ.
last time, 2, 3 uống.
2, 3 uống.
It means 1, 2, 3 cheers, 2, 3 cheers, and 2, 3 drink. Yeah, so we have to one person do the leader. The leader say, "Are you ready?" Yeah, everyone say yes. This so the first time, not the last one tonight.
So
Yeah?
now drink or drink?
Sorry. Louder. Are you ready?
Yes!
1, 2, 3 rồi.
1, 2, 3 rổ.
2, 3 rồi.
2, 3 rổ.
2, 3 uống.
2, 3 uống.
Bring up your water.
On the first night we were going to do karaoke, but the karaoke machine wasn't working, so we decided that we'll just go hard and the extra mile on the second night. Went to bed probably around 10ish. Got up the next morning and then it's the same again, but again completely different scenery.
Quay đầu, quay đít rồi đây, quay đít rồi.
Rồi chơi nhạc đi.
I do get that, obviously I'm Vietnamese, so throughout the journey I was speaking quite a lot to my easy rider. His name was Hugh and he's amazing. I have endless praise and compliments for him. He made my whole trip, and so I know that I do have a little bit of an advantage being able to speak the language, so I was able to communicate with my driver. But even then, the other guys in the group said that they, was fine being on the 3 days without listening, having stuff in their ears, like whether it's music or podcasts or whatever it was.
nhìn.
Hiếu chậm.
So every half an hour we stopped at a different viewpoint, and a lot of those places will have like toilets, or you can grab a coffee, grab a drink, grab a beer, whatever, snack, whatever you wanted. So that was interesting to note, because I thought you'd be on these long journeys and, you know, it'd be quite strenuous, but it wasn't at all. Really do have to mention what I really loved about all of the BB drivers was that they were just all such safe, careful drivers. None of them were being irresponsible. They weren't trying to race each other or anything. The whole time it just felt in very, very good hands. So I can't recommend them enough. I would say on the second day, we're actually, the roads were a little bit more narrow, they were a bit more steep. So the first day was a bit of an intro into the mountain bike riding experience, and then the second day is a little bit more hardcore, but honestly so worth it, because the views that we saw on the second day were breathtaking. There weren't any words to describe it. Absolutely breathtaking. The other thing that I wanted to mention with BB is that I believe they took us to lesser known spots that were less touristy, because there was one point during the second day we went up to this incredible viewpoint, which was quite tricky roads up, but it was worth it. And then when we looked down, there was another viewpoint lower down, and there were like hordes of people at that viewpoint, but where we went, there were barely any people. So BB really, really nailed it down with their stops. And I have to say, throughout the whole time, like the drivers and our leader, we called him Chicken, was great, making sure that, you know, you got all the photos you wanted, you got all the videos that you wanted, telling you about like the stop and where we were going next. And they were just very caring and thoughtful, and they actually brought the energy to the whole group. I absolutely just loved it. Our little crew was amazing, amazing, amazing. Then the second night, again, we ended up at around 5, and we actually drove into a town. I can't remember the name of it. I think it was Dong Van, something like that. Very cutesy town. They call it a bit of a party town because obviously that's where a lot of the groups end up in. But you don't feel like it's overly touristy. Everyone's just like there for a good time. We actually got to witness a Hmong, authentic or Hmong like traditional performance and dance right in the square of the town, which was incredible to see. It was beautiful. Then we went for hot pot that night. Again, you guys will know what hot pot is, but family style again, it was really great, amazing food. And then we went for karaoke in the town. It was really fun. Everyone was vibing out. The Easy Riders in my group, if all else fails, they should be in a boy band because they were amazing singers. And again, they brought the vibe and the party. So we loved it. And then the third day, it was very bittersweet for me because I didn't want it to end. We drove 170 kilometers on the last day to make it back to the hostel. And it was a little bit cold that day, quite foggy. We were very lucky on the first 2 days. It was nice, bright, sunny, warm. But then the third day was a little bit more chilly. A lot of us wrapped up and it was more foggy, so we couldn't see a lot, but still very beautiful. I still enjoyed the experience just as much as the first 2 days. by like 4, a little bit earlier this time, 4, because a lot of us had to get the buses at 5 to make it to our next destination. And once you get back to the hostel, I give you like a merch t-shirt, which is really cool. So I have a keepsake for the rest of my life to remember the whole experience. And we say bye to everyone, and honestly, it made me very, very emotional, particularly saying goodbye to the drivers. I have to say, like, the easy riders, for me, is what made the trip. All of them were incredible. And I think particularly for me, where, getting a little bit emotional now, where I've grown up, I guess, in a society where I don't know that many Viet people. I know a few, but not a lot of Viet people, where I get to like be around Viet culture a lot and practice language. And sorry, and being able to spend a couple of days with people who I would love to now call friends, and learn about their family and their upbringing and speak to them in my mother tongue, really meant a lot. Sorry, and it's something that I will remember for the rest of my life. They were all incredible people, so caring, and it just reminds me how much I love my country and my people, because they're just incredibly warm and friendly people. They treat you like family and always make sure that you're okay. And it's just so crazy to think how you're cut from the same land, but you have just such different upbringings. But at the end of the day, the blood that runs through us is basically the same. You know, our identity and our the way that we are as Viet people is the same. And so I had an amazing time connecting with those guys. And yeah, it was definitely an emotional experience for me, being able to see so much of how beautiful my country is. And then not only that, is to also experience it with my people who've grown up here. And, you know, at the end, I asked the leader, I was a little bit of a translator in the group. I asked the leader, because we obviously had loads of questions about the company and them and how they find work life. And the owner of BB is actually a Viet person. He actually used to be a driver on the Ha Giang Loop as well, and then he decided to start his own company. The leader was very complimentary of him, and he said that they only hire drivers from within the Ha Giang area, which I absolutely love, because, you know, I want people within that area to prosper and to reap the benefits of tourism. And that's why I'm on here talking about it now. And I really do hope that if you ever get the chance to do this experience, obviously there's quite a few companies out there to do it with, but I would highly recommend BB, because me as a Viet person, I loved every moment of it, and so did the guys who we went Viet. You know, we had Canadians in the group, French, English, Israeli in the group. They absolutely loved the whole experience and couldn't say a bad word about it all from start to finish. I thought it was great, and I want the company to keep going. I want the guys to do well. You know, a lot of these guys are earning money to provide for their family. I think obviously I hope if you have the means to, you really should tip your driver well. A lot of these guys work very hard. They're out on the road from early morning to the evening, making sure that you're okay. Riding a motorcycle is hard. You know, a lot of these roads are very strenuous. They're away from their family for a couple of days, just trying to make a good living. And, you know, if you think your driver deserves a really good tip, please do that. If you can give more, because if they're able to offer us a really good experience and you enjoy it, then, you know, I really hope that we can be generous with them back. So I would love to do it again. Honestly, I travel a lot, I experienced a lot of things, but that one was once in a lifetime. The scenery is beautiful, the people are beautiful, just the whole experience is something that I will never forget. Obviously, if you guys have any questions about it, please comment section below and I'll try and get back to you if I have the answers to it. And yeah, I don't know anyone who's done the Ha Giang Loop and not come back thinking that it was life-changing or had a good experience. So if you do come to Vietnam, it's definitely not an experience you want to miss. I would do it again and again if I could. So yeah, I hope that was thoughtful and a good insight for you guys, those of you who are considering it, or those of you who kind of have it on your bucket list. Do it, come to Vietnam and do it. So yeah, anyways, that was a very emotional look back on it, but I'm glad that I'm filming this as well, because there were so many layered emotions with that experience that I want to share with you guys and that I want to remember for some time. So yeah, anyways, I'm going to chill for a bit now before I meet my friend for dinner and drinks again. Catch up later.